Alrighty, folks, this is going to be the 23rd psychological lecture, and in today's lecture, we are essentially going to be explaining why God is testing you. So, I want to preference something. Majority of people get into day trading, they think it's going to be easy, walk in the park. They think, oh, okay, awesome. You get into trading, I'm going to find a strategy, and then from there, I should make money. When that's not the reality. I wish it was, but unfortunately, that's just not the reality. The reality is you're going to face so many issues throughout trading, psychological, mental, physical, so many things occur until you make it towards the end. And this is typically the story and the classic story that you hear among everyone. Everyone tells you it was hard, I figured it out, and then a couple years later, 3 to 5 to 10 years later, I ended up making a lot of money. This is the story that every single person has. No one, and it's very, very, very rare, right, that a person comes into trading and immediately starts making a crap ton of money, right? It's very rare. And what I want to tell you guys is God is testing you to see if you are specifically worthy of what is destined to happen in your life. Since the dawn of human history, anything worth doing and anything of value had to be worked for. And obviously, in today's society, it's much more, how do I phrase this? It's much more difficult on your mental because you see everyone around you making a lot of money because social media is basically a game of who can flex the most, right? Who can show off the most cool things, who can show off the best moments of their life, right? So a lot of you guys see profitable day traders, but you don't see the years of buildup that it took them to become profitable. So it's kind of discouraging to you as the viewer viewing all of these profitable day traders on all social media platforms. This is how I made X amount. This is how I made this much. This is how much. This is how I made this much. You see all these individual videos all the time, and it's kind of demotivating and discouraging, right? At least that's what it was, and that was the case for me when I was unprofitable. I would see all of these big guys in the space making all this money, and I'd be sitting there asking myself, what am I doing wrong? What are the things that I am possibly doing wrong? Why can this person make hundreds of thousands of dollars off the stock market every single month, and I'm struggling to pay my bills? I can't even put gas in my car. What is the difference, right? And I guarantee you a lot of you guys are thinking the exact same way. I guarantee you some people that even view my trade recaps are like, what does he have different? Right? And the biggest thing I want you guys to realize is you weren't there to see me depressed in my car, my broken down car in front of Best Buy, punching my steering wheel because I hated my life. You weren't there on those nights that it was rainy outside and I had to do DoorDash to make sure I have enough money to pay for my life. You weren't there when I used to be a barber cutting people's hair, another man, right? I was another man's bitch cutting another man's hair. You weren't there for all of those experiences. So the biggest thing I want you guys to realize is God tests you, right? Those individual moments where I had to go through stress, I had trials and tribulations, I had sleepless nights, I cried, I asked God, why is he doing this to me? I was so confused specifically why nothing would work out. And the biggest thing I want you guys to understand is you guys see me in my, not final form, but you guys see me in a form specifically that is a built version of myself where I have it figured out now. But you guys didn't see me, obviously, when I didn't have it figured out. You guys don't see me, or you didn't see me when I was doing DoorDash, when I was doing Instacart, when I was at Best Buy, when I was crying in my car, when I would get home depressed. Well, you guys didn't see any of these things. And this is the case for all of the other influencers. You guys don't see their chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You just see their chapter 10, right? Of when they finally made it. And the whole thing I want you guys to take away from this lecture is God is testing you no matter what you are possibly going through right now in your current shoes, no matter what issues you're facing, no matter what sadness and heartache you're having, no matter what financial troubles you're having, no matter what is happening, God is simply testing you to see if you are worthy of being a very small minority of successful people, right? The statistical data shows, in terms of millionaires around the world, it's sub 3 to 5%, right? So out of all human beings, it's like 3%, 5%. And what I'm saying here is the only difference between the people who attempt to become a millionaire and make it, and the people who attempt to become a millionaire and don't make it, is simply the fact that those people can't handle the aspect of the test from God. And you, as the person who wants to make a load of money off day trading and wants to become profitable, needs to realize those moments where you feel like giving up, you feel like quitting, you feel sadness, you feel heartache, you feel depression, you feel all of these individual things are simply a moment in which God is testing you to see if you are worthy to move on to the next chapter. That's all. That's all that this entire life is. If you want something, it is so easy to get it. All you have to do is put inputs in. Inputs equals outputs. I love this saying. Inputs equals outputs. The more inputs you put in, the more work you put in, the more outputs or outcome you get. So in day trading, the more inputs you put in, back testing, forward testing, journaling, joining a mentorship, watching psychological lectures, doing all the things you know you should be doing, equivalent into more outputs, which means more money in your bank account. But the problem is people lose themselves on the way of those inputs, right? A lot of people can't handle the stress that comes with those individual inputs. Oh yeah, backtesting is just hard. It's just hard. Okay, you need to realize, of course it's going to be hard. Why is it that such a small minority of people are truly successful? Why is it that it's cool? You wouldn't want to play a video game if you could beat the final boss every single time. You would say, okay, this is now boring, right? Let me go play another video game, or let me go do something else, or I don't want to play this video game anymore. If the video game was truly that easy where you just beat it every single time, you would sit there and say, I don't really want to play this video game anymore. I don't find interest in it. And it's the same thing with life. If it was so easy to the point that you wanted to make it out to be, it would have no intrinsic value. It would be worth nothing. It wouldn't be cool. No one would respect you because you had it. It's the same thing with abs, right? Or having a good physique, I should say. If you are fat, you're normal, right? Like everyone else. But if you have a six-pack and a good physique, you are looked upon as relatively successful in the aspect of health. And there's a reason why females are more attracted to people with a good physique. It's simply because of the fact that it's more rare, right? So scarcity equals awesomeness in life. And the thing that you need to realize is the thing that's holding you back from everything that you want right now is not putting enough inputs in. You simply don't work hard enough. A lot of people will say, yeah, I work hard, bro. The second moment, and then the moment things get hard, stop working, right? It's like you choose to be broke. You choose to be a loser. It's as when everything is going good, right? When you start seeing a little bit of consistency, you're green, you're up on the day, you stop doing all the inputs you know you should be doing. You know you should be backtesting. You know you should be journaling. You know you should be joining a mentorship. You know you should be learning more. You know you should be bettering your psychology. You know you should be doing all of these things. And the moment that things get good, you throw all of those things out the way. It's like you choose when you want to be a loser. When things get easy, oh yeah, I'm winning. I don't need to do the things that got me here. I'm good. And then when you're losing, it's like, oh God, why me? Poor me, boo-hoo. You're just a little bitch, bro. That's just the reality of it. And you need to realize with all of these individual lessons that I constantly teach you guys, the simple reality of everything is God is simply testing if you are worthy to go to the next chapter. And your chapter 1 is not going to be the guy you're watching's chapter 10, right? You need to work towards that chapter 10. So a lot of you guys see me, right, where I am now and then get demotivated, right? Or get sad. It's like, it's so counterintuitive. And the biggest thing I want to tell you guys is just stop comparing yourself to other people. Because there's a saying and it goes, comparison is the thief of joy. When you start comparing yourself to other people is when everything goes bad psychologically. Because of the fact you are comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? I've been doing this for 7 years. Right? Like all the other influencers that are profitable with proof have gone through a lot of shit, right? And the more shit that those people have gone through, the more successful they are, typically. When I see someone with a really easy life and they still made it out, they're relatively successful, let's say they're making like 10K a month, I just know they're incapable of making a lot of money. And simply because of the fact of you need to realize the more God throws your way to test you, the more positive outcome that you could possibly have and the more potential specifically you can have with anything in your life. So I understand life is hard. I understand you are sad. I understand you are feeling depression. But the biggest thing you need to realize is what are you, right, going to do about it, right? Because everything is really perception based. And I've talked about this a couple of times. Every single thing is perception based. If you perceive something in a certain way, it can change the outcome of what you do. So, for example, there are two people, and this is what differentiates a profitable and unprofitable day trader. A profitable day trader will blow a funded account and reflect, self-analyze what they did specifically wrong that led them to blow a funded account. And then there's the unprofitable day trader that blows a funded account, gets sad, goes lays in his bed, jerks off at night, goes to bed, buys another funded account tomorrow. And you need to realize majority of you are that second unprofitable day trader. And you need to turn yourself and shape yourself into that profitable day trader and self-analyze and reflect. What am I doing wrong? What are the things that are leading me to get down to where I get down every single time? And the problem is that I have with majority of the day trading community is it's such a cancer. It's like everyone like gamifies the shit. Everyone makes trading out to be like the most fun game on the planet. It's like, oh yeah, haha, I'm having a laugh. This is fun. This is fun. It's real trading is not fun. I'm telling you that right now. It's very stressful. You have to stick to your rules. It's not fun. It's bland because you make a set amount of money based off of the amount that you risk, based off of your account size, and you know exactly what you need to do, and you do it, and that's it, and it's work. It's not supposed to be fun, and you need to stop gamifying everything in trading. I see a lot of people, they get overly excited to trade. When trading is really not all that, guys. Trading is awesome. I love trading. I've made a lot of money off trading. It changed my life. But real profitable trading looks like taking a trade, accepting the risk, journaling, backtesting, forward testing, doing all the things you know you should be doing, focusing on your psychology, what went wrong, what went right, and then getting better for the next time. And that's the constant loop. And that's it. That's all you need to do. But the problem is majority of unprofitable day traders specifically prioritize other things than doing that. Oh, what's the best strategy I can get? What's the best indicator I can use? What's the best VWAP MACD bullshit indicator I can use? Like, please understand, trading as a whole is a game specifically of how and identifying how the market moves, right? Ideally, we want to recognize specific areas in which the market will reverse or continue off of. That being the case, it's bland because it's repetition. We see the same thing occur. That's it. And what I'm saying is, like, so many people gamify trading, and the reason why they gamify trading is simply because of the fact that they are so uncertain of the outcome. This is why people like sports betting. This is why people like gambling, because the fact of uncertainty gets dopamine rushing through your brain. And the problem that I have with that in trading is trading should not be uncertain. You should be certain of the outcome. You're not always going to be 100% certain, but you should be 60, 70, 80% certain of what's going to happen. And when you are uncertain, that specifically means you're gambling. But anyways, what I want to tell you guys is I struggled for so long. Countless other people have struggled for so long. Everyone has struggled for so long. And the only difference between the unprofitable and profitable versions of each and every single one of these influencers you guys can possibly see, not just me, is simply taking all of those lessons that God threw at them and bettering their lives based off of those lessons that they've learned. But until then, and until you start practicing that, of essentially, what did God want to teach me here? What did God want me to learn here? What were the things he wanted to teach me? Why did he need to teach me these things specifically? What were the reasons of my errors? How can I do better next time? Self-analyzation. That's it. And once you've identified it, it's just a time basis then, right? And me being so real with you guys, majority of you guys are simply just not cut out to day trade. And the reason on why that is is because of the fact that you lack doing these things, right? You'll watch this video, you'll click off, and then you'll be fine being a loser instead of actually taking action and initiative. And this is what I'm saying is like you all are fine, right? When things are easy, your mom makes food, life is good. You got that girl coming over later tonight. Your boy's calling you out to go to the club. Your boy's calling you out to go do something. When life is easy, you're not thinking about those things. You're okay with where you are in life. But the moment you're alone, you're sitting there asking yourself, why is it that I'm still in the same position that I'm in for this long? So it's like when life is easy, you don't even think about it, right? When life is easy in the aspect of you have everything that you want, it's easy. It's like, okay, I don't really need to be a profitable day trader. I don't really care. I don't really care to put in work. And then when life gets hard, you get depressed and sad. Why is that? Simply because of the fact that your body and your mind knows you can be putting in so much more effort and work than you already are. This is why you are failing. You're okay with being a loser, right? You're okay with being a loser for that Monday through Friday. And Saturday, Sunday rolls around. I'm not a loser anymore. I'm going out with my boys. I'm going to pull this girl. It's awesome. Cool. Sunday night comes around. What the fuck did I just do? Another week wasted. And that cycle will repeat until the day you die, unfortunately. For the vast majority of human beings, that is the cycle that majority of people relapse into. Monday comes along. Oh, my life is shit. Tuesday comes along. Oh, why can't I make money? Wednesday comes along. Oh, I hate this job. Thursday comes along. Oh, I need to lock in. I need to figure it out. How do I get out? Friday comes along. Oh, da 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 da. And then Friday night, degeneracy. Oh, let me go out with my boys. I got this girl lined up. We're going to go out drinking. Cool. We're going to do this. You're fine with being broke that 5 days a week. And when Saturday and Sunday comes around, forget about everything. Forget about how shit your week was. You forget about all those empty promises you let yourself on Monday. You told yourself, oh, this weekend I'm going to lock in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Week goes by. You're okay with being a slave and a peon. So the biggest question I want you guys to take from this video and take out of this video is, when are you going to take initiative? When is it that you are going to take action? You need to ask yourself, genuinely, when is it that you are going to take action and initiative? When is it where you're going to draw the line in the sand and you're going to say, you know what? I'm not doing this bullshit anymore. I'm not doing this repetition and this bullshit that I always do, this relapse constantly. When my homie calls me to go smoke weed, I'm not going to go with my homie. When my boys call me out to go to the club this weekend, I'm not going to go because I have work to do. I need to save myself and my family members from eternal slavery. And you need to ask yourself, a lot of people will say I'm being extreme. They're like, oh, you can have a healthy work-life balance and you can still figure it out. At the end of the day, okay, sure, you can have a work-life balance. It's going to take you 10 times longer if you even make it. It's so competitive nowadays in terms of how low the statistical data shows people actually end up becoming successful, where you need to give up what the vast majority cannot give up. The vast majority cannot give up going out to the club on the weekends, go getting shit-faced drunk with their boys, going to chase tail on a weekend, going to do all the things you know you should not be doing that are counterproductive. So you want a work-life balance, G? I think on a corporate job, 9 to 5, where you can be relatively successful is your best bet for work-life balance. But being an entrepreneur and being a day trader specifically, it's glorified. It's like, oh, it's awesome, freedom and awesomeness and cool. No one talks about that 3 to 5 to 10 year journey where you're eating shit and you're eating nails. Because that's what you're going to go through. And you need to drink the pain of life, right? Or you spit it out and you go back to whatever you were doing. Because life will give you a nice jug of pain and stress and depression while you're trying to build yourself as an entrepreneur and a day trader. And you either drink that jug of pain, sorrow, depression, anxiety, all of those things, or you spit it right out and go back to exactly what you were doing. Drink it or don't drink it. The choice is yours, but you ultimately need to make the decision. And the biggest thing you need to realize specifically is that God is going to test you with all these individual things, and based off of your perception is how your life will operate. If you fail, and you perceive it as, oh, I'm a failure, I'm never going to make it, you'll never make it. But if you perceive it in a way of, okay, God tried to teach me something here. What did I need to learn here? And how do I better myself from this minor setback? You will be successful. That's it. Plain and simple. It's going to be the end of the psychological lecture. I just wanted to refresh your guys' minds, specifically if you are currently struggling. If you guys made it to the end of this lecture, comment the words, God is testing me. Comment the words, God is testing me. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next psychological lecture.